Hello again. Japan's top male talent agency, Johnny and Associates, has changed its name in a bid to distance itself from its late founder, Johnny Kitagawa. Allegations that the late talent manager sexually exploited teenage boys recruited by his firm had emerged since as early as the 1960s. And Michiyo Ishida explains why it took so long for the scandal to unravel.
They were known as the Johnny's Boys. Their ubiquitous presence says of the influence of the agency behind them. But the name Johnny and Associates was damaged beyond repair these days, as it finally admitted to decades of allegations that its late founder, Johnny Kitagawa, preyed on underage boys seeking stardom at the firm. Professor Kenji Kitatani, a former Sony vice president, is an expert in the global media and entertainment business. He explained the power of the J-pop oligopoly that's made up of Johnny's and two other major agencies.
There are primarily three groups of agencies, one of which is Johnny's. And these companies have a very strong relationship with sponsors, television networks, staging companies, basically the entertainment industry in general. Over the years, it became a necessity for any television shows or stage shows to at least have one of the Johnny's talent or artists in it. Otherwise, it's very difficult to market the content. And Johnny's continued to grow for over a period of 40 years.
Since the 1960s, gossip magazines have run allegations of sexual assault. In the 1980s, books were published. In 2004, Johnny's lost the lawsuit, but Japan's key TV networks and dailies did not treat them as significant stories. More than a dozen victims have come forward so far, accusing the late talent manager of grooming and sexually assaulting them when they were still teenagers, trying their fortune in the Japanese show business. Shimon Ishimaru joined Johnny's from 1982 to 1985 as a trainee.
合宿所っていうのはジャニー北川が住んでる家で、タレントさんたちも住んでるんですよ。でジュニアの身分だとジャニー喜多川の許可がないと入れないんですよね。だから合宿所に顔パスで入れるようになるっていうのは一つのステータスみたいなところがあって、ジャニーといろんな話もできるし、タレントさんとも話せるし、やっぱり仕事もらいやすくなるんですよね。被害に遭うと次の日必ずお金くれるんですよ。で、僕の記憶だと3万円くれてたんですね。分担をしながら。
That was a lot of money for a teenager back in the 1980s, enough to pay off a month's rent for an apartment in Tokyo. The abuse went on for 3 years, but the young trainee kept silent, fearing talking to people about it would end his J-pop dream. Sexual abuse accounts by former Johnny's trainees were confirmed by none other than Noriyuki Higashiyama as the scandal exploded. The former Johnny's superstar now has the scandal head agency, taking over from Julie Keiko Fujishima, the niece of Johnny Kitagawa. He admitted he was aware of what was going on back in the 80s at the training camp.
触れてはならない部分みたいな、立ち入ってはいけないような感じがありました。個人の力がとにかく及ばないという年齢でもありましたし、その名前がついたものは全て捨て去ると。
Johnny and Associates has become Smile Up since October 17. The company will eventually be dissolved when compensation to victims is completed.
First time in Japan that this negative and dark crime which have been committed by one of the three major agencies had been revealed, and therefore my conclusion is that this was actually better for the industry.
But coming out has taken a huge toll on former Johnny's trainee Shimon Ishimaru. He has suffered from depression since leaving the agency.
近くではあまり
彼女じゃなかったら多分僕自殺してると思います。やっぱり耐えられないですよ、やっぱりこの活動は。彼女がいてくれてるおかげで耐えられてるっていうのははっきりありますね。
There may never be closure for Johnny Kitagawa's victims. He died in 2019, aged 87, and was never charged with any crime. Michiyo, Ishida, CNA, Tokyo.